I'd always be like, God, lead me with your Holy Spirit, guide me throughout the day, and keep me well. Notice when you put yourself in new environments socially a lot, that'll expose you.
Like in the next 5 months, will this really bother you?
Mm.
You know, when you think like that, you're just like, yo, the next 1 year, I think I'll be doing good. For your depression and everything, you can even see it stems more. It's like when you're a child, it's like things that is deeper. It just comes out in different kind of ways.
Different forms.
Yo, welcome to the Straight Up Talk, where we help you with some of the issues you may be facing in your life. So today we are diving into a crazy topic on mental health. So today I've brought in a guy who can share the most on this topic. This guy, I've known him from, we were playing those days in Kibera Saints. You know, that's where we knew each other, right?
Dusty pitches.
Dusty pitches. We've known each other.
Lots of heart.
And lots of heart, man. So we've known each other for a minute now. And this guy is honestly one of the players who I've known for a while now. Like for more than, you know, most of the players you just play with, you just forget each other. But I think we are kind of connected.
Kept each other close enough.
We've kept contact. You're from SA, Juicy, man. Seeing you're making some moves there in South Africa. So I know you have some good things to tell us today, man. So could you give us like a brief synopsis of who you are, what you do, and all?
I am Eugene Gambe Angelo. I'm a footballer, full-time. So I want to believe so. I've been so easy miaka zote. Hii miaka, I'd say tangu nikuwe 17, I've been on that wakati nilimaliza shule. So I gave it my all. Still giving it my all right now. Nimekuwa fortunate, nimeweza kucheza 2 countries wakati I was about to give up, but right now all I can say is, even though I don't see many horizons close, that's the same way nilikuwa pia before I ended up having those opportunities. So I'd just like to thank God. And for friends like you who I can be able to see of my metamorphosis. Growth,
personal growth, and that's what this channel is about, man.
So having a few friends at each stage of your life in a idea of which it's a pleasure. Venye nimeona these last few years, you've managed to carve out an image ambayo mimi sijui kama naweza pata sahi. But image yako pia kuna njaro imestand yangu, probably might be in its own way, but I'm proud you're able to carve out an image that you had conceived, and I'm very happy finally venye nimepata nafasi kurudi. By God's grace, I'm able to at least take part and see what all this, not only kuna ka chaos create lakini positive chaos. Jini zime vipi? At least it's challenging us. When we hear of the podcasts and we hear of the material. Hata nikiwa huko, at least, even though there were some hard times, I was able to get by, and because I know these are people I've walked through, and if we don't finish our race, itakuwa useless for the next generation at least. Because
I know hard times is always part of like the journey and all, but I don't know so much about like your, because this topic is just mostly about mental health. So you can just dive in kidogo about the hard times that you're sharing about, or just the mental health and part.
Okay, I'd say I saw I've known of mental health tangu tukiwa wadogo, since we were kids. It's just that you don't know this side of your life inaitwa mental health, or it's about your mental wellness, your well-being, etc. So nilipitia some things through childhood, not very bad things, but I'd say my mental wellness was really challenged wakati niliamua kuchukua ball professionally. It became really tough because it was a road I walked my mom atasema it was a hard pill for her to swallow. It was
for you playing professional
for me
football.
Playing professionally. And it brought out a side of her which was not as pretty, but she was still there for me. She tried her best to be there for me. And we also tried to understand. It was a bit strained, but these last few years we've tried mending the relationship, and I can say it's almost it's not at a bad place. So most of the things I've had to go through, sana I'd say, is during my stage when I left school. That's when I knew mental well-being is actually a big part of someone being able to accomplish anything, or even being able to have the best, not the best life, but having the life they'd want, of they've dreamed of. I have to tell you, I feel a big part of it is that mental
part. Because even I hear Zidane was saying, and I was even sharing with some players this some time back. Zidane was saying football, or just I'll just imagine any kind of professional sports, is 90. He said 98% mental and 2%. It's 90 to 100.
Yeah,
98 sounds
give or
a bit,
take.
98 sounds a bit crazy.
You can tell.
Like 90.
Yeah.
So he said, guys, it's 98% mental and the other part physical, technical, all those things.
Pretty much what you're bringing to the table. With your feet, but most of it will depend on.
And I know one thing, for most players, the thing that they struggle with is depression.
Yeah.
So
it's a big part.
It's a big
especially
part.
in our country. I'd have to tell you. I have a few references. I'll not mention their names, but they are very close friends. And I'd not call them, they're friends, yes, but ni wadogo wetu. So like for us, they're now at the stage where they're finishing school. They're at the same stage I was in. So I can, when I start seeing the signs they're also going through, I can start telling that. I don't tell them they'll take X number of years ati ndo wapitie hii story, because ukiwaambia pia hivyo kuna njaro wataona basi haina haja nipitie yoyote. But I'd say for anyone ambaye anafanya profession ambaye it's not directly supported, a calling that is not, it's going to really test not only you, but even those people. Okay,
so you said, I want to go back kidogo. You said that there are signs that you already see in them.
That they're going to have. They might have a few of these challenges or these dilemmas.
So what are some signs you may say?
Okay, I'll mention the two I'm closest to, and I've been helping. I'll not even say money-wise, but I've been helping where I can be. Good thing wamekuja hiyo point ya breakthrough kidogo ile wakati nimeanza kusafiri. But I help them where I can. I'm not at a place where I can still pay for so much money-wise, but I've always tried to help with the game, with what they need, etc. in terms of effects and equipment. But like for one of them, she's a girl, and she's not even 17. She was 16 when I started knowing her. But now she's about to turn 20, and it's really tough because I can see the way I used to relate with my inner circle, which would be my mom, etc. Because of ball, I can see the same thing. I can see responses in the same. So between her and the parent.
So there's friction.
There's kind of some friction in terms of like there's a bit of misunderstanding. I know there's still both sides ziko na right na wrong. Hata mimi sikuwa nimeona hizo right na wrong wakati nilikuwa hiyo stage. But I can definitely tell there were some things. Because at the end of the day, there's some friction, because I think the friction definitely mindset.
Okay, because I'm seeing
and what they want, priorities, that kind of thing, the life balance.
Okay, so you say that the friction part of them can be like a mental part they might be struggling with.
Yeah, because definitely that's the on the parent side. What will it be? Me even nakumbuka vitu nilikuwa naambiwa haya financial, unakuja nyumbani, you eat a lot, nini blah blah blah, and then you notice that it's not kupenda kwako. Definitely you're 17, 18, 19. And pretty much you also, for me, I was trying to help my mom with whatever I could do wakati siko class, apart from kucheza ball. But nilikuwa naona saa kwa sababu tu nimechagua hii route ya life, because it's not like directly financially giving back at first. Unajua ile time unaambiwa kila time ni kama una let au nini usaidie as much. That message sometimes inaletwa directly ama inaletwa indirectly ni venye mnaishi. Definitely you'll start feeling of lectures here and there and blah blah blah. So I can see it with her, and they had the best relationship before.
I don't know, I'm thinking that this might be just your passion. I'd call it, I don't know, just passion
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
game. Because here's the thing, yeah. Most African parents, obviously, they don't believe in the soccer part, the sports part of the game.
Yeah.
Also, me, I had many clashes with my mom. And my dad wasn't really involved, really. But my mom always, because I refused to go to uni.
Yeah.
Because I said after high school, I told
Newborn.
them before I did KCSE, I told them, here's the thing.
Kanga ukijua.
After high school, I'm not going to school.
Yeah.
My mom, because she wanted me, of course, she wanted me to finish school.
Yeah, that was a very
So
big
she was
stage.
like,
So wako.
yeah, as long as you just finish school, do well, and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, I finished. Yeah. Then me thinking finishing school, I'm a free man.
Kama kawaida,
Kama
you
kawaida,
think
it's-
that
it's-
ati now it's time for the promises to be
Yeah, so
fulfilled.
it's war every day, bana. So it's war in a sense whereby every night, like I have to be reminded. We always used to argue every day until a point I just decided I'm moving out. I even went without, like just one morning, went to my cousin's house and then chill with them there because it was friction every day. It was like 3 months.
And sometimes it's not
of
even
arguing
like
every
you're
day.
sometimes it's not verbal. It's
Yes.
even indirectly with how you guys are relating,
Yeah.
how you guys are around each other's spaces, even when in the house. You can tell it's not the same.
Yeah, and I can tell you at that time there was a lot happening because you don't have that anchor around you
Yeah.
to support you in
Yeah.
times, because you're fighting with them, but you also have emotional problems. Yeah, you have now. I couldn't say depression, but I don't want to know what's. Have you had like depression?
I'd say you're having challenges. On
Challenges.
The
Yeah.
other side.
Do you have depression stories? A story of one when you're a soccer player that you'd like to share?
I don't know which one to talk of. There are so many, but if I was to delve to that similar one,
Yeah.
definitely at the same stage, so 17, 18, 19. For me, I chose to. I wouldn't say I moved out because I still go to that person's place to stay, even right now when nimerudi.
Okay.
But it started out with, I don't think I can keep on playing football. And not at the playing football at the kabsa, but you can't play football with, I'd say, that improvement mentality.
Mm-hmm.
With improvement in your mind every day, if you're even being told it's not supposed to be a priority.
Yeah, never. That's
Imagine.
What they say. Yeah.
You cannot improve on something that's not prioritized.
Yeah.
So nilijua kama if this keeps on being the end, it's not that my mom hates me, but it's just that right now I understand it was hard for her to accept. But at that time I couldn't understand because it's the only thing I'm asking for. I'm not asking for any support and any money. I never asked for boots or anything of that sort. But I was only asking her to be okay with it, not even support it, just okay. And that became a struggle. We would I started with moving in, like have clothes, etc., just enough to get by a week. Telling my friend that I'm going to come to we stay. He's always been up for it, and we are still in touch with him. Still one of my important people, I'd say, over my lifetime, because you can tell this is like 8 years, almost 8 years after.
Okay.
Started out with staying 3 weeks, ended up being like almost 3 years.
Where now?
And 4 years.
With him?
Yeah, with him.
Living with him,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's not that I never went back home. I'd go back home, but I'd go back probably on the weekend to see my siblings and see my mom.
He's a footballer.
He's a footballer. He's not like that passionate, but
Okay.
definitely he's also a footballer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he helped you through the stage where
Yeah, but
you
for
were
him it was
getting
more as a
rejection.
friend,
Yeah.
because he would also see the indifference between how I'd go at home and it wouldn't be as comfortable. Sometimes I'd go home and like upati food just because that umekuja kuchelewa, so your mom's trying to drive a point, and it was
That
tough.
you shouldn't prioritize.
That you shouldn't.
I
You're
think
coming too late.
That is crazy, man. Because imagine you've come from a game. It's crazy.
And I'm telling you, those games, I'm telling you, most of them
I know.
I'm coming from them, not even there. I'm coming like, so sijui kama watu wengi wanajua there's City Stadium and there's also South B. So we're staying in South C. It's not a long distance, but definitely you've played a game, and you've played a game in the evening, in the morning and the evening, and then you're coming back home. Probably we've always been hard enough to get by, but you can imagine now you're playing twice as much than your usual. I used to train like shule tulikuwa tuna train how long? 1.5 hours. Sema unacheza break unaenda kwa 2 hours. Now you're training 4 hours every day. That's average, Monday to Friday. And you can imagine, even if you were to tell watu wa maju that you're eating 3 meals that are footballers, they won't even understand if that's serious. And you're not saying that you don't want to eat, you do, but sometimes you just can't afford it, at least then. So you can imagine I started noticing small things like that with and I've tried getting over it. I'm still getting over it. That's why I've tried mending my relationship with my mom and my immediate family. It's not been easy.
So right now you're building the relationship, because
I've been mending it. Like
you've been mending it.
It's been just enough to stay, but now you understand, like making it now flourish.
Yeah, because me, I know one of the signs of depression. Maybe you can tell me if you agree or not. Yeah, one of them is anger.
Yeah,
and
lots of anger, lots.
A lot of anger. Body posture. Because me, I normally see, maybe some guys are more like that, but see someone just drowsy like this, and then I talk to them, they're like, blah, 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 blah. They have this really slow tone or whatever. So I count that as one of the things of depression. And also me, I think I struggle with the same thing of anger. And you really know that you're going through depression because you're fighting all these fights. You're seeing the world as like just like a fighting ground, and everyone is against you. So your brain is against you. I know.
And at times, like Apple, imagine. I don't know if you felt it, but also when you're like young player. Okay, right now we might still be considered we're at the end of our youth, football-wise, not our life. Life-wise, we're still young. Life-wise, we're still young, but you can imagine. So when you're a very young player with this guard of coaches who've taught us football, you could see most of them would tell us, players like us who are slightly like lanky, we're still technical, we're still good, we're still fast, but because they're in this older generation of football, they can't see like the opportunities that's ahead of them,
and it's hard.
And now that means you're playing catch up, not because you're not good. You're good enough, maybe you're scoring. You used to, like for you, I remember you used to assist. You used to be very good with crossing. By this guy here used to be more of an Odo. He used to know how to cross. So
I mean the in-swinger.
Yeah. So you can imagine, with youth, you're just supposed to see the diamond, even though it's in the rough, and then try and help it. Yeah. But now you can imagine you're lanky, and then they're trying to make you look like you're less of the asset in the team than the other one. So imagine this is something you're going through in your workplace. Your workplace in Iwanja. As footballers, the field is our workplace, or like wherever you're training, if it's a gym, etc. So you can imagine you're going through that 17, 18, 19, and then you're coming back to this reality at home. Because it is a reality. A reality is something you're living with, at least within a chapter of your life. And if you can feel there's that indifference, I have to tell you, it's very few who can get through that.
And how? Let me ask you.
It's very few who can get.
How are you? Because one thing I'm sure people would want to know, is how you've your mental health. How you're managing your mental health right now. Because if you've gone through all that, I know mental health is always, first thing, it's always a daily thing. It's not like a thing where you decide to deal with it once. Cause
it's like a heartbeat. It's like the heart. It's always being challenged.
It's always every day has its challenges, and every day and new days carry new challenges. Because for me, I can just share mine. I just recently, from November, I started seeing a therapist. So I've been doing therapy for the last 3 months, and I can tell you one thing therapy has done. Guys normally say therapy is for, most guys just say therapy is for bitches, girls, guys who are just, you have money and whatever, but it actually helps more than what guys actually think. So one thing I'd want to know is like, what is your...
This will sound very familiar to the Black American community. Because in the Black American community, they actually use this as a scapegoat, when they're talking about mental wellness. So when young people would say, I think I need to go to therapy, utasikia watu wengine, like their mothers, uncles would say, boy, you need Jesus, that's what you need. And then they cover it up. It's not that it's a wrong thing, that religion can help you.
What do you do?
But for me, what I can say I have done is I've just always focused on the prize. The prize is getting, being a professional and having the best career I can have.
That's what you're focused on. Because me, one thing, I know sometimes I can be too focused on the prize. But now, that's when now anger comes in. That's when anxiety comes in. Because you see now, for me, I've gotten a way to do things. Like, things like anxiety, I believe music is normally the best thing. When I'm feeling like I need to do something, I have a serious meeting or a serious game today, I feel like music just calms me down. For things like anger, I feel like reading something would help me. Like just learning
you're talking about those hacks. Those hacks that can help you at least.
You know those life hacks.
that can
Now,
just help you
those deep. There are some small subtle things that we do
to be able to
cope
process,
through
to process
and help
fast
you with that emotion, so that you can think
feel it
logically.
and then,
yeah. Because even there's, I was listening. I don't know if you know Tony Robbins. Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Tony Robbins. Yeah. So there's this formula these guys have for just cold water in the morning, like just waking yourself up with cold water. Boom. Yo, if you try that thing, man, every single day.
I'll take you up on the showering with cold water, but not like just palm.
It doesn't feel every day. You don't feel like you want it, but you just have poof poof. The shower is on. You just enter one man kisoja over there. But you see now, those are the life hacks I'm talking about.
For me, mine would be, I'd actually need space, and I still do it in Bakaleo. So I'd go definitely naka kwa nani naitwa nani, like with my housemate. Still, I can remember those days. I used to go. I'd just play PlayStation. Probably that would be the first thing. Then looking at this, I'll review my day after some PlayStation, and definitely watching just a game. Yeah.
So you like the alone time and spending time by yourself. What do you do by yourself when you're spending that time? Just
thinking, but I'd say first of all, to take myself out of it. Okay. I'll spend time with. Definitely, I'll have a meal.
Okay.
I'll have a meal with my friend. Etc. Just talk about like life, or laugh at our experiences in the day.
Yeah.
Play some PlayStation. Then when I go to bed, be like 20 minutes before, even like an hour, I'll just go and see how the day was, the highlights and the lowlights. I would not even like look at all the experiences, but the highlights and lowlights utajua.
Highlights, you mean football or your life?
No, just seme leo.
Okay.
Utajua kitu imekufurahisha mbaya sana.
Okay.
Sindio? Yeah. And then the ones that pretty much were not the best, Hizo you will not need to go through the whole day to know. You will feel it. You will know, this thing didn't go well, this thing didn't go well. This thing went well, this thing went well.
One thing I'm liking about what you're saying is the thing of sharing. Because me, let me tell you, I've always been the secluded guy. Even in my relationship, reserved, never talking about shit. Every single day, things happen to you, you don't really talk. You're taking it in because you believe in this African thing of your man. You need to take it, you need to be strong. Yeah. And then you see, as guys, I've also been brought up by a father or parents or people around me, or as guys who are not really vulnerable guys. They're strong. Yeah. Something happens in the family.
Which also is the same with my mom.
Yeah, they can't cry. Something bad happens, like the time we recently lost my Guka. I didn't see any of those men looking emotional. They were there for us. So now you see, now that gives you pressure. Because you can't, in your mind, you can't be the bitch, man. You can't be the bitch of these guys. So now, I've gotten to see, now that's where now, the only reason I'm going to share is if I'm sharing the therapy. Because also when you have trust issues, like me, I know I
have trust issues.
When you have trust issues,
I mostly had them. Now apparently, according to my mom, I have over trust issues. Now I'm over trusting. Yeah. So, but I've not spoken to her. Even I was just speaking to her now before I came, and I was like, and nowadays you overtrust people. It's like, I think it came from a point whereby I was holding it in, and it turned me into something else.
It doesn't work for you.
It turned me into someone. So when I was coming home, my mom used to tell me, you're not talking nowadays. We are the ones who have to ask you for what you're going through. Yeah. But definitely, during your stage of 17 to 18, I noticed when I start relating, I start telling you guys, at least I'm looking forward to this and that. Most of the times, what would it be? Hey, that one, I don't know if we can help. So, zikianza ku add up, you start seeing that there's no need, actually. And then, so now, finding those two people that you now start sharing. Yeah. Which is not easy.
Because one thing I know, when a guy who doesn't have trust issues, if you share one thing and you feel a bit of backlash from it, you get more reserved. Yeah. Because that's how I was.
But it's like one step forward, then two steps back.
Once back, you're like, fuck it, I'm going back. Also, the best thing for guys who are up there who are like us at that time, me, I feel like it should be a thing of whereby you share with someone. Like, you have to share with the best person.
Actually, the circle needs to be small.
Person ever.
The circle needs to be as small as possible. Yeah. Small, but effective.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Because small, Now, I've, now when I can say I've had a career what spanned around 7.5 years, if we are counting definitely from 17. And it getting to 8, I've had to tell you now when you're getting up the ranks, something that you didn't know, you just want to become better.
Yeah.
It's not that I wanted to be the best, but now out of wanting to more is when you start seeing things off the pitch. Things like you'll start hearing of stories of those people who actually believe in you. You start getting more pressure for you to perform, etc. So you can imagine, you start telling things of which I have done, and I have to tell you I'm not the best at it. I'm working on it these last 2 years. Then these people will go, and then this bigger crowd, apart from the ones that you truly know, if you give them more information, you start noticing they start undercutting you. You hear, hey, by the way, we were told of this. You are like, hey, that was not the situation that was completely, even though it has some truth, utapata exaggerated stories. Some will not give it with the best heart possible. I know it's bad to say, but it's just a reality. I've experienced it. There's one of, I don't want to share that story too much, but I think it's important. One of my coaches, who I was supposed to travel earlier, and these are life opportunities. Especially when you're in Africa and you're playing football, especially Kenya. When that opportunity comes, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if you're on form or off form. You will have to grab that opportunity by hook or by crook. It's come, so it's up to you to now grasp it, to take it. And it was quite saddening for me to see that other players were prioritized, like 2, 3. And maybe it's me ndo nimeona the wrong way, but mpaka wa leo, but you can't tell me like I'm getting through I'm trying to make things work to be able to get to the opportunity, and he just tried to make it difficult in a way. Like I'd always be told like you need to have this in order, while the other people's, not all of them, but like 2 or 3, because he prefers them somehow, he gives them preferential treatment. And this is a dream, so now he's not so much for you, and you can see it. So I ended up traveling later, till I started getting news that all your requirements to travel were in order. It's just that you aren't told. And if you're told that from like 2, 3 sources, 2 different 3 sources who don't even know each other, it's pretty much clear that you're not that person is not like, it's not
for you.
Yeah, not too much
for you. Okay, how did you cope with that?
And I've started now having trust issues again.
Okay.
But now I processed it in the right way after some time, and so that I'd remember the times that even I didn't even have that opportunity, and which are the people that stood, regardless of opportunities going and coming. The only people who helped were very countable.
Okay.
So those countable people are still the ones I try to count on in a way, but I said that I'll never abandon.
You'll never abandon
Yeah.
them. Because I know one thing is that the ones you don't trust, right now you're building the relationship with them, right?
Yeah.
Because at that time you are kind of, let me say also at that time how we process things is very differently when we are so young.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think about even just guys with their exes, their whatever. Like you just think like, what was I pissed at that, man?
Yeah.
She just didn't want me, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Damn,
that
a million
chapter,
more.
yeah.
That chapter is okay, but that time you remember you're just like, wow, it felt like the world was crumbling like through. Also, even one thing I get to see at that point, yeah, because also me, let me divert this kiasi, yeah? Because for me, I've gotten to a point where you look like life is like not for you for real.
Yeah.
In terms of, let me now put in a relationship kind of part, yeah. A breakup, I've been through a couple breakups, but there's one particular one whereby I was feeling like this is the one, yeah, but now it didn't turn out to be the one. So at that time you feel like, shit, why am I living? Why am I doing whatever? Why am I all this? But now I got a certain skill I learned from, I don't know if it's Mel Robbins, but someone else, she was saying that you need to think.
Yeah.
So now you don't really actually now
don't linger
on it so much. Now you start thinking about the next, reaching to the point you want to get to that, and that has really helped me in that stage of point of my life. Because when you focus on the moment, it's bad. It's bad. It's really bad. Yeah. So that's one thing I'd add on for just guys who are going through that moment in their life, man.
I know it's
So
a
so
tough
for
one.
me, I think I can share my depression story kiasi. Yeah?
Okay.
First thing, let me tell you one thing I've noticed from therapy, and that's one thing I'd want to share in this video. And I don't know. I want you to also try therapy. It's good. You know.
It's not that I don't want to. I think I've not gotten one that I could settle on. Because
Okay.
definitely,
Yeah, 'cause even me,
I was there. Then I was supposed to come back. You see,
yeah.
going, coming, and then you
And
don't
also
build a long
I think
relationship.
I've also found the right one, because also there's something about connect the right one. Because there's one, the first one I tried, because God sometimes works nice. The first one I found, I'm talking to them, yeah. I feel like it's my mother I'm talking to. Have you felt like,
Yeah,
it's
like
why you judging me? I thought
someone
you're supposed
in
to help
someone's
me.
body. It's like
I
your
feel
mom
like
is
she's
in another
judging me
body.
until I found now one who you actually connect with. So me, one thing she always says, your life is a circle. It's all connected.
Yeah.
So we are in different forms and ways. So for me, it has been, especially as a player. So 2019, the time I came out from Kibera Saints, I came out of Kibera Saints, went to Zitek Titans. I was playing Div 1. So I went to a better team.
Yeah.
And there's even this guy who came.
Devil
to the
Boys.
team. What's his name? He's called? You forget. Okay, but
Yeah.
he came
Yeah.
from, I forgot that.
Because there was a bit of exodus out of that. For me, I got out because I was finishing my finals, and then the LG had said there's interest.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
So now for me, at a point I was so frustrated because I'm not where I want to be.
Yeah.
So first thing I remember in Zitek I was such a rude kid. I didn't want to do there are trainings I didn't used to come. I used to be like me, I'll go to the gym, I won't go for the ball. So the coach the other day, he was just tired of me, told me I'll let you go. I went to later on Tusker, and then I went to Nairobi Steamer now in NSL.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, yeah. My injury, I had my knee, I always had an issue the whole time.
That was
the main issue where so every time I was always battling with my body and my mind, because my body is every night is just like with hot water and blah blah blah. So all this cost me to, because you're fighting but your body is refusing. So now you're trying to get that power and it can't, until at a point whereby I remember my last month in because I was in Nairobi Steamer, my last month in Nairobi Steamer, I really fell down. There's a time I just broke down in my bathroom, tears.
I just couldn't.
Because there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. In that moment in time,
I knew, because I tried everything, every physio. We tried PRP. I don't know if you know PRP injections. PRP is one they help growth in your cells to heal faster.
Yeah.
So the doctor did that. Supposed to say 3 months PRP, and then another one. Nothing worked. So now I know now it's surgery. Now it's another 2 years out of the game. So I broke down. Everything was looking bad for me. But I think at that point, the one thing I think I got from that point is that I got to realize sometimes don't base soccer so much. Don't put soccer. I wouldn't say don't put as your main focus, but have other things that are working for you.
Like small
to things.
Small circles.
Yeah, because at that time is when I decided to start. I had another channel. I decided to start that channel, just talking about issues with the guys. That made me feel like I have purpose.
Yeah.
Like at least now we can.
Especially for man, it's like
you
need to at least show. It's not that like you have to show it in monetary wise, but like there has to give something that
look like you're giving something to the world. Yeah. And then also I got a job. I now started doing now, because I was good at content creation. I started helping the family in a family business. Now content create. And you see now that one made me now come about, because my mind was down. Because if you're at that moment and you're thinking about the next time you're coming to get the game, because even the doctor told me I'm having my surgery after 6 months. Like insurance was not working. So 6 months. So 6 months you're out, and you have another 6 months for not playing. So 6 months you can't play right now.
I have to tell you that it's so devastating for me, because I've gotten an injury, right? I got an injury on my way back, and I didn't even know I had an injury. And it just took 1.5 months. And that's the longest injury I've gotten. And I told you, I felt like so angry.
Yeah, you need to thank God, man.
I have to think, but now for me, I've had more of the other side. Off the pitch has really been my testing field, my battlefield. Yeah, definitely.
So for me, I'd say purpose. You just need to find something that you can do to help others. Another thing I'd say is also just find something else. Because at that point, my mind was just going, yo, man, all my high schoolers, you guys are partying.
Yeah.
Guys are partying, enjoying. My other footballers now, I was playing with other guys, young kids. Guys are in US, guys I don't know where. But they're in US and they're partying. Guys are having a good time. Because that time you're mostly on social media looking at the life. So I'm glad my mind didn't really go like that.
Yeah,
I was trying to zone in. So I don't know. First thing, what do you think about like alcohol and drugs in the sports world and everything?
I have to tell you, it looks like, I know this might sound discouraging, but I think it's looking like it's going to get harder with each generation. But for me, I decided definitely since I was 16, even when I was in Form 3, Form 3. Form 3, I decided that I won't partake of alcohol only under like special occasions. And I did it mostly because of football. But let me tell you, the one that helped me keep that vow was my family. I come from a family that the immediate one is quite okay in terms of how they lead their lives, their daily lives as adults. But for a lot of my cousins, not most, but I'd say like 20% have overindulged in alcohol, and I'm telling you, the results don't look so good.
Of them,
And definitely them being older, I'd always not look up to them, but I'd look at them and I'll be like, even if you're young, like you're like 9-10 years old, then you keep on seeing them over a period before they become adults, and then you start seeing them that they're just like that after, and it's taken away a few things, or it's made them not be as productive. Definitely starts showing you that there are some things that are much better not dealt with rather than partaken of. So no, now nilipona hivyo, I knew that definitely this is not.
So it's something you don't partake. Because for me,
but also my focus was on football. That's why I don't want to take it. But what helped me achieve it, the technique, was because I'd look at these relatives of mine, and I'd be like, Eugene, there is no way you'll be able to go on this road and also partake of it.
So that helped you stay away. Because also I believe, I always say, even my brother right now is going to high school. I'm looking for him one with sports.
Yeah.
I'm not joking about
directly,
it. He got good marks, but he's going to one with good sports.
Yeah. It's filling a vacuum for something they're missing.
You know, one thing I noticed there, because me, I've been from a chaotic family where it's been drama. My family loves drama. Yeah. So when I was raising up, there was so much drama in the house. And I learned it from somewhere else, because when I'm not a drinker like that.
Yeah.
But most of the time I'm a social guy when I go to social gatherings. Yeah. But you realize you have this anxiety, you're feeling a bit anxious when meeting people. But when you chap a shot or two, you relax yourself. So I noticed that. And then you see now what happened is a point where it happened, whereby when I go in such situations, I actually want to chapa just like kiasi too for keeping. But now I got to realize that's now the way you can be caught in a certain addiction of
that's like one of the ends of the web.
Because it was helping me relax kidogo, calm down, have conversation with people. But now, if you use that way, that's what I noticed, that now addiction comes from it, man. So
again, for me, I think over these last 7 years, almost 8 now, has been because of, what's it called? Because of small but effective. So because I was playing so often, and now I don't, even though I can go back home, I don't want to go back home. I just want to go back home on the weekends where I'm going to see mom at least and see my siblings. So, cause my circle looked at me like this guy who's like all like very funny to see, but like we still want to be around him. So because I don't know, I had that kind of feeling around me. So for me, those like the 2-3 friends I had since 16-17 with ball that I stayed with and grew up with till right now, we've just started parting ways last 2 years because I was spending time with them so much. They never saw a reason for me to like partake of it, even if they were partaking of it.
Okay.
Even my cousins. So, but I've noticed when you put yourself in new environments socially a lot, that'll expose you.
Yeah.
Or it'll.
Because you don't fit.
Even if you don't want to drink.
Okay.
You'll start finding you're not getting back home on time. You're over partying now. You're not partying like which is healthy. You can party like once or twice a week, and now you can find you're now making time for these other extra things. Yeah,
and then of course
it throws you off balance.
Diminishes your football because
then throws you off balance. Yeah.
Because even the time I was playing now in ZTech, when you're partying, you can't play football and party. That doesn't work.
It can be a highlight or a priority each weekend.
I tried it. I was always. That's even one of the reasons my injury just got worse and worse. Because now you're tired. You slept like at 2. you have training like at 8 in the morning, so it didn't really work out. So one thing I'm sure guys would want to know as we're also looking at conclude this video, yeah. So what are routines that you do that keep you sane, just mentally?
I know sane is the big one, because unafaa kujua kama I'll definitely say
throughout your day,
throughout my day,
or just things that you do over in
a day in a day. Let me tell you the things that I've done, the current Eugene has done over these last 7 years. Maybe you'll find they might find a little common ground on what they can adopt. Kitu anaweza jaribu. So I'd tell you I'd start the day with prayer, and it might be very simple. I might not be the most prayerful person, because my family is quite religious, especially my mom. No, she's quite spiritual. She'll say she's quite spiritual. But for me, I'd start the day, and then I'm the small kid going to train with bigger guys who are like 30, 32. I'd always be like, God, lead me with your Holy Spirit, guide me throughout the day, and keep me well. And then after that, I'd pretty much plan my day. I wouldn't plan it. I wasn't the best time manager, but I knew I must train in the morning. I'll go to class. I'll arrange my things. I'd focus on what is in my control and the activities I need to do in the day.
Okay.
And that I still do up to today.
So
just like 2-3 things that you must
focusing
do.
Is you journal, or do you journal?
I actually started journaling like 2 years, I'd say.
2 years ago.
It helps because you can look back on it. But I wouldn't say journaling is a big part. Then when I'm concluding the day, I think reflecting is a big part. Reflecting. So it doesn't need to be a big thing. I told you I used to do like over 10 minutes. Janikae tu. Leo coach alinipasha nini. This class wasn't as good. I think nafaku. You like what was good, what was bad.
Okay.
And then even if you don't have anything to decide on, utajua hizi vitu zilikuwa mbaya. Kesho I'll try and do this and this and this. Just a 20-minute reflection.
Okay, that's good enough.
Yeah. So my you time definitely itakuja jioni or something, or afternoon. Tutaenda and I wouldn't say you time has to be me alone.
Taking yourself out, just doing
something that is
you love,
at least makes you feel relaxed.
Okay.
So me either ingeko ball siwezi sema na hesabu because hiyo ni kama it's like your passion. I'd say tungeenda lunch, shule, choma hivi, because you can't afford a very expensive lunch because umetumia fare tayari kwenda zoezi mapema. So but those small things. Yeah, or jioni you guys would go and probably like kucheza ka PS kidogo to not at ile sana,
just for,
but you must have like an hour I think which is of you time,
a way off of just even
just
the
to
game
relax,
and everything. So okay, that sounds
I think
similar.
like 3
that sounds
steps.
Similar to what I do. So for me, in the morning, I believe in prayer also. One thing, even I'll just try one thing I believe. Also, one thing that has helped me, and I know you've said that it didn't play a big role for you, but me, journaling really played a big role. Because journaling made me, even right now when I see mine are like from 2017, I have some piles of books, so many. And I don't like when people joke with my sister.
I know.
My sister read
That's like gold, isn't it?
Read another part. I told her, do not
try.
Don't
even continue. Don't even read one more.
She read it before when I left home now. So I left them. So she read, but I tell her, never ever make that mistake. Because those are just things that's me, unless you get, unless it's an issue you want to go through. But I feel like journaling has really helped me put things into perspective of thoughts. You know, sometimes something
in your own
inside,
truth.
Yeah, but when you write it down, you see it as it is.
And then maybe
and
I don't know
solution,
you, but it can help you process it
better
to find a next step, at least just the next step.
Because it has helped me in injury time, breakups, just everything my life has been having the highlights from. So
but I don't know, me labda nilikuwa nafanya journaling but me ni mlazy kuandika.
But I think everyone has,
but I was like doing that journaling but now with reflection.
So also one thing for depression, what I'd tell guys, the best thing for depression would be first thing, one thing I know, me, I'm an active depression guys. This I read a book called Emotion. It's for Dolcoman. I forget. It's one of emotional intelligence that the EQ, they call the EQ. They say sometimes, sometimes it's better. Depression will always come, but be active. Because it's better to be accomplishing things when you're depressed than just living things.
Yeah.
So that's what that
It's
book
stuck
says.
on stuck
Yeah.
and stuck.
And stuck in, you're
And
stuck
then
in. So
they
it's even
now-
worse. And then you have those emotions. So it's, hey, you're depressed, but you're an active depressant.
Yeah.
Why you're doing your things. That's what the book says,
Yeah.
which I like sometimes because depression is something. But I feel like depression, you need to. I just find something that keeps you off of what you're doing and what you're thinking about. That's comedy. I feel like listening to some Kevin Hart kidogo.
Yeah.
Because I love Kevin Hart, man.
Same thing. Me time.
Some nice
you have
music.
your me time.
Yeah.
And your me time can also be with someone.
And
Or
I'm
some-
thinking also for anxiety, working out, journaling, and listening to music. That's for me. That's
Yeah.
what I was, the
There
other.
must be at least one activity.
Yeah, you're doing.
Na kila mtu.
Yeah.
Unsi ati lazima ikue music ama
There are
kama
many-
yangu ikue
yeah.
PS. I'm sure everyone has one.
Just
It can be a walk
mm,
in the evening. It
Eh.
can be wengine wanasemanga nachora.
yeah,
Wengine it's different. You can be watching your own show.
yeah.
It's okay also.
So that's one thing that will keep you safe.
Don't miss that
Don't
activity.
miss,
Your
yeah.
activity.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't
Okay.
miss it.
That was a good conversation, my guy. What do you think? Fire.
For me, it being a first, I have to tell you at least it went better than expected. I didn't put any
Oh,
expectation.
you're fasting.
No, I'm saying this
Oh,
being my first time.
I thought you're.
No,
you're
no, no,
the-
no, no,
the-
no, no,
You're,
no,
you're,
no.
you're also fasting right now. 'cause-
No, hey, no.
Yeah.
But it being my first time on the
Yeah.
show, I'd say it went better than I thought. Not because I thought it might be worse, but I didn't have much expectation
Okay.
because I wanted I wanted us to be conversing. It's more of a catch up.
It is.
Yeah,
For real.
yeah.
And I'm glad you came, man. So, guys, here's the talk, man. You guys have heard about this mental health things. Guys, avoid talking about this topic, but I think it should be a topic that guys talk about. It should be something like you talk about with your boys. Like though you ask your boy, yo, how much have you made last month? How much are you making? That's so nice. Also, mental health should be talked to like that.
Yeah.
So, guys, like and subscribe because I release videos like this every single week and you don't want to miss it. Till next time, keep it Sammy Smiley. Take care of your mental health. We out,
Cheers.
man. So, thanks.
See you guys soon.
Yeah.